from sleep.
This is a really cool trick that I was just messing around with and found out you could do. So you have the boot option, like the mighty Duke Nukem kick, as you see right now, and you have sprint. Well, here's a really cool exploit. You can sprint, kick, sprint, kick. You can actually do this, and what you're seeing is I am sprinting, but I'm kicking at the same time and moving constantly. And I'm not using any sprint at all, but I'm moving constantly. Now, this is a really cool trick, because you can actually move around incredibly fast and still attack. Now, the problem is you don't have any turn control unless you go into the next kick animation, and even then, it's very restrictive on your turning. But yet again, really cool trick. You fly through so quickly. Like, it eliminates the whole movement problem that you usually would have, and you're also attacking, which allows you to get in there and do some damage if you're attacking from afar. A good example of this will come later on when I show it later. And yeah, I mean, just a really cool trick. It's just holding down the shift button, which is the shift key, and then pressing space. And this is the PC port, by the way, I forgot to mention. This is not the Xbox 360 version of the game. This is the PC version of Condemned Criminal Origins. So yeah, really cool trick. There's not really much to say about it besides the fact that you're never using any sprint and you're moving constantly as long as you keep doing the space kick or the kick. I guess there's a few things I should show up as well, but let's go ahead and progress, and then I'll show you some cool things you can do with this. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead now. Let me do this real quick. Now, notice you go very slow on stairs as opposed to actually walking. That's because they want you to go slow. They wanted to make it realistic in some way, which is fine. I have no qualms with realism, but if you're doing a speed run, let's do it fast. And so what you could do here is the same method. Hold down the shift key, kick, kick, kick. Look at you fly, son. You're just flying down those stairs. Okay, same method. Shift, kick, kick. And let's compare the speed time, because you can't sprint absolutely at all on the stairs. You can't. So, are you seeing the difference here? There's a huge difference as opposed to going upstairs and down the stairs, as opposed to the little method we're doing right now, which, yet again, really simple method, and there's no cost to it, and it's pretty damn good. Okay. Make sure you want to sprint doing this though, because you can't do it normally. Well, you can do it normally, I lie. You can do it normally by doing like this, but it's much slower, and you can't really achieve the same effect when sprinting. Okay, so that's really all that has to be said about that trick. It's a really cool speed strat you can use in Condemned if you choose to. Can you kick sprint up the stairs? Yes, you can. Here, I'll show you real quick. Oh, fucked it up. You can sprint up the stairs though. It's very tricky, but you can. So there you go. The timing is a little tricky when you're going upstairs, but you can do it when going up and downstairs, as opposed to going up the stairs like this, which I'm not forcing myself to walk. This is the game's restriction on your movement when going up and down. But okay. So that's all I can say about that glitch. Now, let's move on to something interesting. This is not so much, this is going back to the first trick of the game, where you get on top of objects and stand on top of them. Now, this has something that I want to mention, because this has potential to break this second level. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to kick this carton around with me, and I don't want it to get stuck anywhere, because if it does, then I'm kind of in a bad situation. Now the upside is if you do get it stuck, you can use your melee weapon to knock it like this. That might have not been a good idea. Okay, just want to move it around. We're gonna play soccer for a little bit here. Gonna kick it. We're gonna have a cutscene. Okay. I'm gonna move it again so it doesn't get stuck. Now, I want you to take a notice here where my flashlight's at. This is actually a part of the level on the other side that you will come across later in the level, where you have to get a fire axe and you have to cut through and go to the elevator. Now, if you could find some way, oh wow, these fucking rats. Nice, thank you. Okay, well the rats just kind of messed that up just a little bit. Thank you, rats, for being douches. Let's try it again. Okay, so if you're looking over here, where I'm looking, you can see that that's the complete other area of the game you're going to be at some point in this level. And as I mentioned earlier, you can stand on top of certain objects, such as this. You can't stand on top of everything, but now look. I'm standing no longer on top of the carton, but I am standing on the rail line. And you can walk on the rail line. You can walk, you can sprint, hell, you can even sprint kick while on the rail line. It's pretty cool, eh? Problem is, you can't jump over this. Now, you could possibly stack. And stacking is difficult because you have no way of controlling the objects besides kicking them and hitting them. And hitting them, obviously, is not a good idea because you can send them flying. And you're really limited to what you can stand on here. As I mentioned earlier, you can only stand on specific objects like these trash cans. You can stand on things like this at equal height. No, that's not equal height. So you can do that, and then now you're walking on the rail line. You can be pushed down though by invisible walls, which is unfortunate, but so, yep, there you go. Okay, so moving on. That's about it for this level. This has potential for breaking, but I don't know how you would do it. Because the problem is, you just can't jump. You are very limited to movement. As I mentioned earlier, movement is key to breaking video games because it allows you to movement allows you to break games in funny ways. But okay, so now here comes the unfortunate part. This is where the game really starts to suck ass in terms of speed running. So we're gonna play the game intentionally right here. Take the picture. Let Rosa do her thing on the phone.
Receiving image data. You're a lucky man, Thomas. I'm still here.
Thank God. I thought they would have suspended my lab access.
They still might. It hasn't occurred to them yet.
I didn't kill those guys.
I know, Thomas. Well, I'm not certain what I do or don't know, but I'm pretty sure I still trust you. And that goes a long way.
Understood. So, what about the photos?
Well, no standing on ceremony then. It's a picture of you, Thomas, in your apartment. I remember that hideous sofa from last year's Christmas party. It had to have been taken from across the alley.
From within the metro station?
It appears so. I'm also seeing smudges across the face of the photo. Locate a good sample and transmit it to me. Okay, analyzing chemical composition. The liquid is C41 color photo developer fluid. Common among shutterbugs who develop their own color shots. Safer to develop your own. No record at the photo mats.
So wait, these photos were processed here, somewhere within the station?
That would be my guess.
Okay, so notice how I could easily move around like this, and then get around by kicking, and then kick over here, use the crowbar, open up. Now here's where the game really sucks ass, and if you pay attention really well, you'll see what happens. So I'm gonna get a checkpoint here, and then, whoop! What happened to my kick ability? Well, hold on, let me deal with these guys first, so they don't get in the way. Okay, so there is something very strange going on, and I don't know why they reduce it here, why the glitch works here, and why it doesn't work over here. Maybe it's to slow down. I assume, in a theory, and this is just a theory, they restrict your movement even though it's the same pace here. this feels a little more restrictive in this area. Just a theory, as opposed to in here. Even though it doesn't really make much sense because you're still fighting enemies, it's still eerie. Or maybe it's a loading issue. I don't know. Regardless, what am I talking about? Well, pretty much you can do the kick glitch here, as you're seeing right now. I can do it here, but when I go over this block right here, where the gate opens up, I cannot any longer. I'm trying. I really am. I'm trying right now, and it's not working. Because all I can do is kick. I can't glide kick. I can't just walk and then just do it normally. So this is where the glitch falls apart. You can only do it at certain sections of the game. You can do it at this part of the game right here, where the stairs and all this, which is fine and dandy because it does help a bit, but you can't use it throughout most of the game and fly through every place. And as you can see, that's kind of disappointing, because if you could glide through everything, you could easily speed up this game by tenfold. Unfortunately, we cannot do that, and you can't go upstairs fast anymore. As you can tell by the speed, it is incredibly painstakingly slow. So yeah, even with sprint, your sprint will deplete very quickly. Even though you could try to do management for your sprint, it's eh.
This is Thomas.
It's Van Horn. Listen and be quiet. I don't have long. The police are not
So
searching for more
that's
destroying your
pretty much it right there for that.